Alright guys, so 1.4 is about to be the biggest patch that Zenless Zone 0 drops. They're adding a whole bunch of new things, they're changing up a whole ton. It's basically going to be a soft reboot of the game. In this video though, I just want to go over everything that we got in 1.3. So the brand new characters, the brand new events, were they good, were they bad, how we're feeling about them, and just go over the patch as a whole, just round up everything. Alright, so first up we have Yanagi, the Deputy Chief of Section 6. Now she's an electric anomaly character, so there's a bit of overlap between her and Grace. Me personally, when I first saw her, I wasn't interested in her at all, because I had my eyes glued to Grace, because Grace is Grace, and that's baby girl. Now, after playing her, I think I like Yanagi way better. She's so much fun to use. Just her gameplay is just so fun. She has a counter built into her kit, and just pulling that off, seeing the screen freeze for like half a second and hearing that sound is one of the best feelings in Zenless by far. She also has a polarity disorder where she can proc or force proc disorders on characters. She's pretty strong. I think she's currently the strongest character, I would say, in Zenless. That is until Miyabi gets released, because Miyabi just seems straight up broken. But yeah, no, I think Yanagi is just a solid character. As you can see in the gameplay, and this gameplay is coming from the new TV schedule mode that they added, where they let you actually test out characters with 2 other characters. Normally when a new character comes out, they would just give you the VR training room where it's just them. Over here you'll see that counter gameplay that I was talking about. So I just count, I think its name is Bellum over here, I just counter him multiple times, and each time it happens, it's just the best feeling ever. Nothing beats it, it's so fun. I think this is what makes her the most fun character that I've tried so far. But yeah, again, really solid character, and currently the strongest, as of right now at least. Now next up we've got Lighter. Now Lighter is our first ever limited male unit, so that's exciting as well. In terms of his kit, it's a weird one, because it doesn't seem like he has his go-to team just yet. He seems like one of those units that they released preemptively. And that's not to say that he doesn't work well with the characters that we do have right now. Say for example, if you are rocking an Ellen team and you don't have Lycan, he is possibly your best stun character if you want to make use of everyone's passive in that team. With him himself, he's going to be shredding ice and fire and giving you ice and fire damage bonus. So if you don't have Lycan, for Ellen specifically, if you don't have Lycan, he's a really good pick. If you do have Lycan and he's well bit, and you have, say, example, he's a Mindscape as well, he doesn't seem as attractive for you, but nonetheless, he seems like a pretty good team member for Ellen. And in terms of combat feel, just like Yanagi, he is insanely fun to use. The amount of punches and the flurry that goes out as soon as he uses his EX skill, and you're just holding the attack button to do continuous punches, and then being able to sort of dodge, bob and weave, and then continue your flurry of punches just feels so freaking nice when you pull it off. The little addition of his scarf sort of extending and then setting on fire when he does his flurry of punches is also really nice. I hope that's something that they add to future characters, or just like little things that just elevate their like visual aspects. I think is amazing. I do need to add in as well, it feels like we were honestly robbed of one of the coolest features that Lighter had. That specific taunt where he holds up his shade and then he counters any single move that hits him was one of the coolest, by far one of the coolest things that I've seen. For some reason, they just relegated it to that one singular mode. It's not in its base kit, it's not even a Mindscape of his. Such a damn shame. Now overall, just a really solid character, animations are on point, he looks so freaking cool. Again, he doesn't have his best in slot team, that can easily change. They can come out with a fire attacker that needs him, where he's the best in slot stunner, so only time will tell, but overall, really solid character. Alright, so for story mode, in this patch we got a special episode instead of the regular main story mode. For this one, it revolved all around the Yanagi in Section 6, so we basically go into a VR world. Now, I will say the VR world was really cool, seeing Luminous Square, where the roads are like twisting and turning into each other, was pretty good, and having it turn into basically a battlefield, really nice. The actual story itself, though, I feel like its payoff just wasn't there. So basically, Section 6 gets invited by the HIA to test out their new VR system. The gang all gets trapped in there, with only Yanagi having some sort of free will, basically to be able to move around and stuff like that. She was basically the mom of the gang, especially little Sakaku. They do a couple of trials, saves them all one by one, and they all turn into Bangbu at one point, which was amazing. Now the tension build-up's really interesting as well, having Miyabi tell Yanagi that she had the intent to kill her at one point, and Haramasa asking her to stay back because he didn't even know what could happen. That was really interesting, having that sort of danger sense and aspect of not knowing what could have happened and you imagining the worst possibly happening. I think they just really sold that feeling. Kudos to them, selling that to the audience and the player and having that in the back of your mind while you're playing it. Absolutely great stuff. Now, apart from the actual ending and me not liking it, mainly because it seemed like we just defeated a faceless villain, apart from that, I really did like everything else. Compared to the other special episode we got, which was in 1.1 with Jane Doe, I think I prefer Jane Doe's special mission more than this one. I feel like that was a lot more intense and more enjoyable, and you actually got like a really good payout towards the end. Other than that minor gripe, overall it was a really solid story. I enjoyed it, and it did also give us this absolutely peak scene, so yeah.
The rest of Section 6! Lady Miyabi! Please step on me!
Oh, Master! My heart has something to say!
Sakaku! Dog, wanna be my... No, that came out all wrong.
Alright, so next up we've got Lighter's Agent Quest. He's one really interesting.
But I don't know the date. Can you just tell me the date?
You wanna know?
Come on, I just talk
You wanna know?
I'm just asking if
You
Vandal
wanna know? You wanna know?
Stop.
You wanna know?
You
You wanna
have
know?
to stop.
You wanna know?
Please stop. I can't let you get close.
Can you hear my? Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty much basically how it goes. We meet up with Lighter. He tells us we need to squash some beef for Caesar before she takes the throne and becomes the leader of all the biker gangs, and we go and help him out. We just basically beat up a whole bunch of NPCs. Gameplay wise, we got this 2D side to side scroller beat 'em up sort of thing that you would see in old school arcade games. Now this mode I enjoyed way more than I thought I would. It was insanely fun. This is also that same mode that gave us that specific taunt that he has that you won't find in his kit. I would say it was more of a combat focused story more than anything, and just basing off that alone, I would say, yeah, no, it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it a lot, especially them letting you use other Sons of Caledon members and having them join the fight as well, so it's not just solo Lighter. Overall, I think it was a good addition, and I hope they continue to add these sort of remixed styles of events where you're not fighting just standard combat like you would in Shiyu Defense or the Tower. I want more of these like really fun additions. Then you've also got your free 10 pulls for each patch and your free 10 boot runs, standard stuff. Also in 1.3 we got new endgame content, so we got the Battle Tower. In this mode, you basically fight a bunch of enemies on each floor, all the way up to level 100, and I'm pretty sure it caps out at 100. I personally haven't reached it, so I don't know myself. Now, even though I haven't done too many of the floors, it is something I'm excited for. It seems pretty fun, just gradually climbing up the ranks. I will say, if you don't have Caesar or any other defense character, you're gonna have a rough time as you climb the ranks. So any defense characters, their stocks just rise all the way up. Caesar's already good, so yeah, more endgame is always a nice thing. For the final part of this video, we're going to wrap up with all of the events, including the flagship event that we got during this patch. Hands down, the most polarizing event that we have ever gotten. Now, personally, I'm someone who feels very strongly about this because I love TV mode. I still love TV mode. I think the developers really, I don't think they made a mistake, but I think they overcorrected hard in just getting rid of TV mode altogether from the story. Now, in saying that, I can confidently say, as someone who enjoys TV mode, this was one of the worst events. First off, it just took way too damn long. It was way too long. You had like 4 or 5 different segments, and then each segment had its smaller sub-segments. It was just too much all at once. You would go around the map collecting all these little buffs so that you could get to the boss, but by the time you even got towards the end, there was no boss. All the enemies died. All you had left was just a little flag telling you that you cleared the stage and to go through and finally finish up. Story-wise though, it was pretty interesting, I'll give it that. We basically are commissioned to go into Hollow Zero along with Soldier 11 to investigate a person named Alowin. We kind of find out something about her. She also leaves a Bamboo behind who is just trying to figure out what happened to its master and where she is right now. Towards the end, you kind of find out exactly what does happen, and it makes you feel bad for the little guy. It was a really nice story put together. Now for the second event, we had the Virtual Battlefield Mayhem. Now this event was basically a promo and a teaser for the next 5-star character, Astriel. It also alludes to the Idol faction that was shown to us, I think before the game came out or around its launch, one of the two. In this event, we basically meet up with a random Bamboo who asks us to go into the VR world. Apparently, one of her friends, the intelligent construct, is stuck in there, and we just go in, defeat a whole bunch of enemies, and that helps to wake her up. Next up, we had a super light-hearted Bamboo event where we basically get asked by one of the Bamboo instructors to go over and watch his Bamboo students and how they're assimilating to their daily lives. I absolutely love this event. It was just fun and light-hearted, nothing too serious, just a super enjoyable minigame. And honestly, how can anyone not like this event? It's just fun. You're watching a bunch of Bamboo race each other. One of them takes a break midway through. Another one cheats as well. He just stops at the finish line. Overall, I really enjoyed this event. This is probably up there out of everything that we got this patch, just because of how fun it was. Now, for our final 2 events, first off, we had the Help Kai. This one, not too much to say about it, honestly. You just got rewards for playing the game and just doing what you do every day. So log in, Hollow Zero, spend battery, stuff like that. So yeah. Moving on to the second part though, the Sandwich event. This, hands down, was my favorite event in this patch. We basically just delivered sandwiches, but the main part though, and my favorite part, was that we got Bangbu companions to just come with us. They basically went, hey, I don't know the route or I'm malfunctioning, could you do your proxy stuff and then guide me to those customers? Man, just seeing them run around and try to catch up with you, or even when they get caught in the environment and just go haywire, and then you look back and the Bangbu's just freaking out behind you. You can see it happening here right now. Look at the little guy just freaking out, running into random shit. It was just so much fun. And that's all our events for this patch, pretty much. Overall, really solid patch. I enjoyed myself a lot in this one. Compared to the last patch, do I like it more? I think I do actually, the 1.2. Surprisingly, it's more so the events that I had more fun with compared to the agent quest or the story. Again, 1.4 is right around the corner. That's gonna be the big patch where we wrap up the story, find out who the sacrifice is or what they are, and we get a whole bunch of gameplay changes. So I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed basically listening to me just dump all of my thoughts on this patch. This is my very first video ever, so let me know what you guys think, if it was bad, if it was good, or otherwise what you're looking forward to in 1.4 and the future. I'll see you guys later.